Well, hello, everyone. We are back with another bonus episode of the Missing Wolves post-game podcast live stream. And we got a pretty cool guest in here today. Jordan Dye, owner, founder of Lambchops clothing line, Minnesota celebrity. I think you're a Minnesota celebrity at this point. And, for people who aren't Wolves fans that watch Wolves games on TV, he is the guy that is sitting courtside right next to the ESPN booth talking trash the entire game. Jordan, how's it going, man?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, 100%. Well, I wanted to get, with this podcast kind of launching, when we did it with the Lynx this last season, we wanted it to be a more like fan-focused, fan-friendly, like live stream podcast. And when you're thinking of Lynx fans, you have Nate Pence, one of our sponsors, who is always sitting courtside. When you're thinking about Wolves fans, it's hard to picture one that isn't yourself or Craig Kilborn. And Craig Kilborn's a difficult guy to track down. So, so Jordan, I wanted to just kind of ask you about Lambchops, because I feel like, again, Wolves fans probably know it from John Krasinski doing ad reads or from seeing kind of the clothing line drops or some of the collabs you've done with Minneapolis and St. Paul. But kind of where did Lambchops come from, and what is kind of the mission behind that brand?
Yeah, for sure. So I started it 12 years ago now. When I was in college, I was working at a sneaker store, and we had a print shop in the back, so kind of just started messing around with it and fell in love with it. I was going to school for entrepreneurship, so worked nice, could use that for all like my school projects. So it kind of went together perfectly. Was kind of forced to make a business plan and all the stuff like through school. So that was really nice, and then I just kind of fell in love with it and kind of started working with like a lot of rappers initially, and then now have been working with the Wolves the last couple of years, which has been a dream come true. But yeah, it's our main logo is a cleaver. So it symbolizes cut the bad, keep the good. It's kind of like our tagline. But yeah, so kind of wanted to have like a positive message, but kind of streetwear vibe and whatnot. So,
I mean, I would say you accomplished that message. Who's maybe the coolest person you've been able to work with through doing this? Or maybe not the coolest, but who's the person that means the most to you that you've been able to work through doing this? Because I mean, when you're working with the Wolves, that probably takes the cake. But what kind of collab has meant the most to you?
Early days, I got my buddy worked with Mac Miller a lot, so I got kind of the first year getting into it. Kind of first stuff I was kind of messing around with the samples, and they were in town and gave him a bunch of stuff, and he loved it. So I made a bunch of stuff for him. All those people are just amazing. His manager Q is still a good friend, and they're just that between. I mean, he's Mac Miller, and they were all just like such cool guys, and I was just getting started, and they were happy to push it. And Chief Keef was another one. He got arrested wearing one of my little custom piece, like the picture on like on all the like tabloids and stuff. But yeah, Timberwolves definitely takes the cake though. That's when I first started, I would have never imagined or dreamed of that. But it's been amazing. So.
I mean, for sure. Mac Miller, love his music, and I can't imagine waking up the next day and seeing your hoodie in a mugshot on Chief Keef. That must have been surreal. That had to have been a weird moment for you.
Oh yeah, and again, it was like I was 20, 21, 22. I'm like just starting out. So yeah, it was kind of fun to see those kind of things.
Well, let's talk some Timberwolves here, because
cool.
Last season obviously ended disappointing, just like the season before did, but they bring back pretty much the whole band. I mean, what was your reaction kind of as the off season was going along, when you're seeing that they're not making really any splashy moves, but bringing everyone back that they could?
Yeah, I kind of like it. I think, Rudy, I think it took a little while to get him to fit, that first season. And then then that started clicking. I think Julius, just getting thrown into it like a couple days before training camp last year. And then, he really found his rhythm that the second half coming back from his injury. And I think back 5, 6, 7 years ago when we beat Denver in that game 82 to go to the playoffs, and Denver just kind of kept building around their same pieces, and then a couple years later won it and have been dominant since. So I think I like that aspect of it. It's not like we don't have we have amazing players too. So it's I think there's a few moves that a few things that we could do to upgrade and stuff. But I also for what was available and what we have, I like it a lot. I think we got a good thing going, and
yeah. I mean, it's a different vibe from last year, because last year it felt like they just kind of threw a hand grenade in there, and just everyone had to deal with kind of the shock of Cat moving on and these two new guys uprooting their entire life coming in. This season, it seems a lot more calm. Like the vibes are good. Everyone's in a good mood around training camp. I know you had a few of the guys out in Vegas kind of for a mixer get together. And I think one thing I've noticed with this team especially is just they all seem to actually like each other. Like they enjoy spending time with each other. Have you kind of gotten that same vibe from working with them a little bit?
Yeah, totally. I think that, again, I think those go a long way. I think, like you said, losing Cat, he was very close with everyone and the city and the organization. So, I think those things play into it a lot. And, again, that, like you said, last year, that was, it felt like a hand grenade just got thrown in there. And it was just like, there's so much going on of new guys coming in, losing Cat. And, but yeah, now it feels like it's really, the guys are Ant, Nas, Jaden that have been with the team. They seem to have been close since they came in together. And then the new guys seem to have gelled really well. Rudy, Julius, Dante. So yeah, I really think that's another huge factor for that don't have the drama and unnecessary extras with that, which is when you're already trying to figure stuff out, like goes a long way, I feel like. So
100%. I mean, I think us in the media almost undersold how hard that must have been for like Julius. All of a sudden is trying to find kindergarten for his kid and figure out where he's going to live. Dante he went to bed on a Sunday thinking he was going to be playing with his college teammates, and woke up on a Monday and he has to like figure out where to live in Minnesota, a place that he's never been for more than a day. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah. I think people forget that, like the human aspect of playing and playing just to your being fully comfortable and fully being able to just go out there and play and not think about those kind of things of, those extra stresses. And so, yeah, I think it's been good.
100%. I mean, it's the extra stresses. Dante, now he was kind of joking after practice one day that like he knows what coffee shop he wants to go to.
Yeah.
Like it's the little things like every day that take time to figure out. And until you have that routine, I mean, it's one thing if you're working, if you're working at an office and you don't know where you're stopping to get coffee in the morning, but when you're going to be scrutinized by hundreds of thousands of people if you miss too many shots, you kind of need to get that stuff figured out, which it sounds like they all do. I think the other thing with this team is, they were so close last year. You mentioned a little bit, just kind of, you think there's a couple places they could improve on. I just wonder, what are those places that you kind of think they might be able to just get a little bit better on the margins?
Yeah, I think, obviously point guard's probably the biggest what if right now of, if Rob can kind of fill that, Mike's getting old and he's been, phenomenal for us, but, he's getting up there in age. And I think that's probably one of the biggest of just, having a point guard to run the show. I think, just staying composed. I think there's a couple of those games in that OKC series, especially where it just, kind of they made a couple plays and then, let the game get away from them in those stretches. But again, I think a lot of those, a lot of things that they can improve on come from, I think Ant's just getting better. Jaden's getting better. They, playing together, knowing where, that's the second half of the season, seeing Julius kind of come into more of distributing, not feeling like he needed to score as much and just kind of letting the game come to him more. So I think just stuff like that where it's, again, getting more comfortable with each other and playing more. But yeah, I think, again, been to the Western Conference Finals back to back. It's, it's tough because OKC's, still there. There's a lot of teams in the West that just Houston got better. So, gotta compete with them. But yeah, I think we're in a good place. And
it gives me kind of the vibes of like the Golden State when they had Kevin Durant 5 or 6 years ago. Steph Curry, Clay was at the peak, Draymond, and you kind of had two paths that you could go to. You could kind of either just, hold position and wait until that finishes, or you could be like Houston, who tried to get better, tried to put a competent roster together, and it's one twisted ankle and then a series is completely different. And I think to the Wolves' credit, I think they have a really good team that's going to be in that 2-3 spot all season. And if Jalen Williams goes down with an injury, they have a really good shot to beat Oklahoma City. To the point guard credit, I mean, it is always not shocking, but it's always just a little surprising of how much they are going to rely on Mike Conley again this year. I mean, he is probably not going to play back-to-backs. He's probably going to get scheduled rest days, things like that. But they still, I mean, he's going to play 25 minutes and it's probably going to be every minute of crunch time, which my knees hurt thinking about it. So I can't imagine what his are like on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
But it does, this whole thing does change if Rob is just good. Wouldn't you kind of agree? If that changes everything.
Yeah, I think, and I think that you saw at the beginning of last season when he came in and looked great, and then you saw struggle a little bit, and which comes with coming into the NBA and going through your rookie year. I think that that last preseason game against the Luong Lions. I think, obviously it's like you're not playing an NBA team, but I think that's huge for him, just getting that confidence back of seeing the ball go through the hoop, seeing, knowing that he can play out there. And, but yeah, I think that goes a long way of just, if he can string together some good games and some confidence and just, showing that he can lead the team in the future and keep growing into that role and whatnot. But
he's such a good kid too. I mean, that's the thing that, like, all last year, I know it was killing him to not be out there playing, because I mean, he's played and almost started in every game that he's ever played in his life. And now you're just on the bench. And like, despite all of that, he's working out every day after practice. He's coming in early for shoot arounds. Like, I felt for him so bad. So I'm hoping this is the year that, it doesn't take another year of development before he gets his chance. Jordan, I'm going to run a couple ads here. And then when we come back, I do want to get some playoff tales from you. Cause again, I feel like you had some pretty good viral moments last
for sure.
So first we got to pay bills though.
Yep.
Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. Goodness gracious. And that lagged on my end. So just in case it lagged on the live stream, it won't on the podcast, but that's Nate Pence from Pence Homes, presenting sponsor of the Hitting the Hardwood Network. If you have any need to look at a home, buy a home, sell a home, rent a home, couldn't recommend Nate more than I am. I mean, he is an awesome guy to work with. And I think Firehawk Construction and Remodeling went through, but any remodeling needs, bathroom remodels, deck construction. Heck, we had our hose outlet go out in the front of our house and our whole basement flooded, and he came over and fixed that too. So plumbing, anything you need, Isaac over at Firehawk Construction is awesome. Both of them are going to be in the links on the Spotify, Apple pages and out over on YouTube. You can find them on our website as well, which is Hitting the Hardwood. All right, Jordan, let's talk Luka Doncic, because I feel like you were able to get under his skin a little. I mean, how surreal is that? What goes through your head? I'll ask that first. When you're sitting courtside, standing up, talking smack to Luka as he's bringing the ball down.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I like high school especially, it was like that. That's how I played. Like I'd be talking to the crowd and feeding off that. So I've always kind of enjoyed that back and forth interaction of the game, of fan to player. And but yeah, it is pretty surreal of the Luka Doncic and Devin Bookers and Donovan Mitchells of the world, of the fact getting their attention and talking either about the game or just random nonsense. And so it's fun. And it's all it's all in good fun. Most of them now, like Booker will come up at most of the games and kind of say what's up after, and so it's fun of being able to interact with them like that.
I feel like you found the fine line to ride, where you're being respectful while also saying what you have to say, and that it's not causing like Russell Westbrook to run into the stands at you. Because I feel like at least from kind of what I've heard, it's usually pretty. You're not attacking them.
No, yeah. No, I always keep it in the game, or try to find just stuff that's like that they'll be like, where do you think of that? So like just random stuff that I see on Instagram of theirs or something, or previous season, or usually if it's if they take a bad shot, something like that. It's but yeah, no, so always keep it within the game. And again, I think just finding those the certain guys that kind of react to that, because sometimes it's just yelling to Ant that guy can't guard you, and starts looking, and then that's just now it's all right, now I'm coming at you. So but yeah, it's fun.
What's kind of the best I guess I'll ask you this: do most players kind of react, or do most of them kind of just let it roll off and not give you a look back?
It kind of depends on the player, honestly. you know, like there's like Harden, it's funny, he'll like he tries not to, but it's like he'll kind of like side eye, but he won't ever say anything, but he'll kind of, it's like, I know you hear me. But then, you know, there's other ones that just don't even flinch at it, you know, that don't. But there, you know, there are a lot of them where it's, because again, where it's, you know, somebody on Utah inbounding the ball, you know, just ask them how they like living in Utah, like something like that, where it's like, you know, just like what. So it's, you know, stuff like that of, so, you know, I think those kind of things too, of like just asking them random questions in the game type stuff, and it's, or just, so yeah, there are, you know, there, I guess probably more than you would expect, probably, that kind of interact. Again, especially if it's, you know, you're keeping it within the game, you're, you know, being respectful. So yeah, it's,
who's kind of your favorite person to go at when they're in Minneapolis? Do you have it doesn't even have to be a current, if there's an old head that you used to go at too.
Donovan Mitchell probably is like the most, like the first game, it started with Rudy. I was kind of like going back with Rudy, and then Joe Ingles chimed in when they were all in Utah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right. And so then Donovan came over, like I said something to Rudy, and Donovan like missed a shot or a loose ball, kind of came over like right in front of us, and he came up to me, he's like, "Oh, you don't want to start this." And then the whole and he was having a rough night to start, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, now I'm going at you instead." Yeah. So then the whole second half, he got hot and was like every single time kept pointing over at me and was like, "You did this." Like, but then after the game, he like threw me his shoes and stuff. So now whenever I see him, he'll like come over and he'll talk, like telling the security, he's like, "Oh, I'm talking to him all game." So that's been cool. It's given me his shoes a couple times.
Oh, cool.
Devin Booker's another one.
Was it a little weird when Rudy got traded here? Because I feel like he's a lightning rod of fans talking to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In his first press conference, I think he kind of said something about the fans out here. That he knows like they're passionate because he's, you know, played against us in the past. And John K tweeted at me and it was like, "I think he's talking about you." But yeah, no, it's that's cool. Now it's like I'm good friends with his manager and stuff. I see Rudy here and there, and you know, so it's but I think that's part of it. It's you know, it's all within the game and stuff like that. So then, you know, if now that they're here, I cheer for Rudy just as hard as anyone else. So I think that's, you know, I think they see that too once they get here, where it's like not just being like a jerk, but, you know, just love the Timberwolves. And if you're playing against the Timberwolves, you're the ops that night. So
I'm fair. Rudy also underrated, like, funny dude to talk to. I did a charity thing with him last year, and he was talking about it's a charity thing where he went and like help, you know, promoting reading for kids, and he was talking about his favorite book being Harry Potter and how he's a Gryffindor. And I have a Hufflepuff tattoo on my arm because that's who I am as a person. So I showed him it, and he just looks at me completely straight faced and went, "That's unfortunate." It's just like, oh. But then like the next day he came up and was like, "Hey, I was trying to be funny." And it's like, "No, you were. That was awesome. Thank you for that." I love being insulted by 7-foot Frenchmen. That's what I live for now. Who, you know, again, you've been kind of with the Wolves. How long have you been kind of going to games and sitting in that spot?
In that spot, we've been there probably 6 years. I think the Jimmy Butler playoff year was like the first year.
And you were going to games before that too. I mean, it was just
my family had season tickets from the beginning, pretty much. And then I started going to games probably when I was 3 or 4, so probably 32 years ago.
So when my wife and I, before I started reporting on the team, we had season tickets too, and the biggest shock to me is just like going from like Thaddeus Young being the franchise savior and
Right.
2,000 fans in that building to where it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, how incredible is it? Like the change in that arena just by like energy standards.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was going from, KG days and just the playoffs and Western Conference Finals and then the next year is kind of the fall off and then trading KG and kind of a few years I think that were a little still hopeful and stuff, and then it just like turned into, like you said, I mean there was I would have to beg friends to come with me to games. But yeah, it's insane to see. I mean, if you, like you said, the Al Jefferson days, the Kevin Love days, all those, crazy to see now of what it's become. It's just a completely different environment and everything. Like,
I mean, it's
really
a legitimate home court advantage now.
Yeah.
It is a legitimate. I hear from players that like they don't like playing in the Target Center now, which is something I never thought I would hear.
Right. Oh yeah. Again, I mean, it's like you said, it was 2,000 people in there. Some games, like you could hear people talking across the way.
But I mean, they used to not even like stop you from sneaking down. I mean, I remember in college, I'd get $12 college, or I think they were $8 college tickets at that time. And then I would end up sitting like 4 rows off the court because like no one cared.
Right.
Like it is such a different arena now.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's crazy. It's crazy of, there's still like a lot of the ushers, security and stuff that I would see going to games 20 years ago and stuff. And so that's fun of, but, to that, it's so different, but also cool to have that, those kind of same things. But yeah, it's incredible of how different of a just team environment, the city. I mean, the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years, just the city was just incredible of, everyone wearing Timberwolves stuff, all kinds of block parties. And that's been like really, really cool to see.
Which to your credit, or to your point, I mean, there were years where I would have a spare ticket and I would be going to a game just alone because no one would go with me. And now it's like, I mean, now I think they sold out almost every game last year, or they at least like qualified every game as a sellout last year. And I mean, it's crazy because you always kind of heard it, right? That like Minneapolis is a basketball city. Like this is a city that supports hoops. And now you have the Lynx going to conference finals, and kind of in their second era, you have the Wolves that are dominant. Gophers women are going to be ranked this year at some point. Men with Medvik might be able to pull something off. I mean, this kind of is a year-round basketball city now.
Yeah, that has been really fun to see.
It's just such a pivot. Like every time I walk in there and like I can't talk to the person next to me, it's kind of like, what is happening?
Right. No, seriously.
Because there was games where like I remember like one year I think Sebastian Telfair was the full-time starting point guard. And it was just like, woof, there is no one here except for like me and a couple hundred other dudes sitting inside watching hoops. I do want to get one last thing from you here before I let you go, though, of just, this season I think is going to be kind of a pivotal Ant season. I mean, year 6, if you just look across kind of the history of the NBA, year 6 is kind of the year where they really pop off. I mean, you look at Luka's year 6, that was beating the Wolves and going to the championship. Shea's year 6, first seed, kind of the beginning of this Oklahoma City run 2 years ago. What's your gut feeling just on where Ant's going to kind of end up ascending to this year?
It's just like crazy to see of, it feels like he just keeps improving. I think last year is adding the 3-point to his game. I think, just seeing, hearing him talk about his off season and the season coming up, you know, I think you can just tell in his outlook and that, you know, he just wants to be the best, is working to be the best, wants to keep improving. I think defense has vocally, you know, said he wants to improve on that mid-range too. But yeah, I think, you know, the sky's the limit for him, really. It's just like, again, it's crazy to see the steps that he keeps taking of, you know, I mean, coming into last year where it's like, I didn't seem like he can improve much more. And then all of a sudden he comes out and leads the league in threes. And so I think that's, again, a testament to him of where he's the kind of person where it's like, I'm going to become a 3-point shooter. And he did. So, and now saying that it's going to become a better defender and at the mid-range more. And, you know, I think if he can add that defense, especially to an already great defensive team, yeah, I think the sky's just the limit for him. And having, you know, I think having the team around him that he does, I think build, again, the people that he enjoys, you know, the Jadens and Nazes, and, you know, they all want that together, I think. So, and then again, getting that taste of the Western Conference Finals now and losing the way they have and getting that taste in their mouth of, you know, making it but not making it to the finals, I think, you know, just keeps feeling it. So
it is like, first, if you would have told me after his first year that he would be shooting almost 40% on threes on a Steph Curry level volume, I would not. There is not even a part of me that would have believed that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Like,
he is. I mean, it. You know, ESPN has him as the 5th best in the league. I mean, even 2K, I think he's 5th in rating. Like, he already is at that level where he is a guy that just by him existing, you're going to have a playoff seed.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I'm looking at it and I'm listening to him or I get to talk to him, like, you can just tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, something is. He's still the same old Ant. Like, he's still going to make his little jokes. He's still going to, you know, goof around and like, he's just, that's how he's wired, I think, is to just be lighthearted and fun. But you can just tell, like, there's a practice last week where he's like wearing the cutoff t-shirt tucked into joggers and just relentlessly cooking Enrique Freeman in Bones Island. And it's like, oh, this is different. Like, last year he would be, you know, off working with Chris Hines doing his own drills. This year he's like, I am going to destroy my teammates. I think I've been so hesitant to put a cap on this team just for that reason, that he could legitimately come out this season and be the best defensive guard in the league. He could have vision like Steve Nash all of a sudden. Like, there's no idea what he added. But it's going to be a fun season. I look forward to seeing you all year, Jordan. Anything you got to plug, anything dropping that you want to throw out there for people? Where can people find you and Lambchops? Anything like that, I want to give you the space.
Cool, appreciate it. So SG Lambchops.com and Instagram. Just released our fall collection a little bit ago, so we got some sweatsuits, a couple t-shirts, sweater. I'm trying to think what we got. Our winter stuff will be probably a little closer to Christmas, but yeah, getting ready. Hopefully get the Wolves thing going again pretty soon here. Don't want to say too much on that, but
don't get yourself in trouble. The trees are already back. We can't ruin by losing a sponsor, by you losing the Wolves sponsorship. But Jordan, thanks, man, for coming on. I appreciate it. It was nice finally connecting with you, and We are going to be back actually on Sunday. We're doing a pod with Alan Horton. So for the 100 plus that wandered into a live stream at noon on a Thursday, we'll be back Sunday with Alan Horton. So appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Thank you again.
100%.
For sure.